Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Magician. A perfect energy for this new moon energy we have going on. New moon energy, magician energy. Taurus, you are in a magical space, most definitely. All right, let's see what we have going on. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. Okay. So I'm feeling pretty refreshed tonight. I took a day off last night from reading, which was kind of needed. Hello, T. You want to come over here? Come on. Come on. Okay, goodbye. Okay, so let's see what we have here. I am looking at two particular things. We have first this beautiful image of a person. You can see the head, the arms. Now above them they have, yes, the horns. So this is the perfect Taurus image, really, in my mind. So we know that we are in the right place. We are reading for Taurus, and as you can see above the head, we have this beautiful stream of consciousness kind of just pouring out, that real daemon space, right? The higher thinking. And so lots and lots of daydreaming, imagination, conceiving of things. They're just coming to you. And this makes sense. It makes sense. We have that magician energy, and the magician is the architect of realities. The magician is the creator of worlds, the conceiver of worlds. And so we also have, it looks like a large lizard. Okay, so the lizard or the salamander is related to the element of fire. Okay, and so the salamander I like to think of as, and it's not just I have adopted this thinking. I did not create it. Anyways, it is the keeper of the fire. If you could imagine looking very closely into the particles, all of the structure of fire, we have the salamander kind of turning the machine, right? Really keeping things flowing. And so this is desire, this is creativity, this is that creative force, the kundalini, right? The thing that touches all things, the thing that is the spark, that fiery word that brings life and animation. Okay, so very much not only being able to kind of call up these visions, these daydreams you've been having, but you are finding ways to bring them over into your mundane reality. And they are playing out where you want them to, right? I feel like you are really somebody who is mastering the art of manifesting. And so, if you're thinking, well, I don't know how to do that, I've never really done that, it is, as easy or as difficult, I mean, it is difficult, as kind of wishing upon a star, praying for the things that you need. But also, things that are fun, like making vision boards, or I like to tie knots. I'm really into what would be called knot magic, or prayer through knots. And this is merely taking fibers. You can make your own rope, or you can use, I like to use twine sometimes I've purchased, and you really just, you tie knots, and within those knots there are intent, right? The things that we hope for, the things that we're working for, the things that we are asking for guidance, to find. And it is a powerful method. If you are not somebody that really believes in magic in that way, I would say that even if you don't, ritual is, or can be, I don't know how I feel about it really. I just know that it works for me, right? But it could be placebo, and so much of ritual really truly is a space for us to contemplate, right? As we're going through the motions of things. It also wires our brains in such a way when we go through any particular order of things, okay? And when we continue to do that over and over and over, over any amount of time, that lends great power to our thinking, to the energies we're putting into whatever we are working on. And so let's take a look. We also have a little bird here. It looks like a little baby, and we have a heart. So I feel that there is a sense of new love here. There's a sense of being kind of enamored in some ways. I don't know that this is a love that is realized, but I feel like this maybe is like a crush, or you have some kind of fondness for someone or something. And I feel like you're very drawn to it. You are, as a baby bird would be, kind of, every time you're hungry, you're going to flap around and let it be known, right? So I think that, there's that kind of real patterning of the heart, and you're waking up and you're thinking about, I get to see so-and-so at work today, or I get to, when I'm done with my things, I can sit down and work on my, whatever's next. And I'll just share real quick, is my new thing is I'm getting back into cross stitching, and I just started tonight, before I put my daughter to bed, and I really felt that eagerness in my heart. I can't wait to be able to sit down and really focus on it. And and it's nice to have these kinds of things that are something to look forward to, somebody to look forward to, something that really it brings, well, I can imagine, a heart with kind of wings on it. It makes your heart soar a little bit. And now we also have, and it looks like another heart, really, right here, but we also have a 2. Okay, so the 2 looks important. Now let's turn this. Okay, and so this person who I'm identifying as you, Taurus, right here, turns into a kind of key. Okay, and then we see kind of this beautiful image of, well, and this is interesting. Let me look at this real quick. Yeah, that's really cool. We have a 2 right here, and then we have a 2 right here. Very clear. So we have two twos, 22. But when we turn this, I see kind of a shrouded person, or maybe they're wearing maybe a hat that has the 2 horns right up here. I think of a priestess or a priest, and maybe a hermit. It could be a hermit, but carrying the key. Okay, right here, carrying this key. And I'm looking up here, and it looks like an eye. So I feel like also carrying the eye and the key. So I really feel like this is a calling. I feel like in this really makes sense to me. In the mode of the magician, we travel inward quite often. You know, there's a lot, it's fun to be the magician, but you know what? There's a lot of groundwork that has to happen. There's a lot of research and learning and, you know, functional experience or practical experience and, you know, really kind of a lot of trial and error. And so, these are processes that often lead us to times that are quite solitary, you know, and so I like to think of, I remember watching some video years and years ago, where they were talking about the night visitor, which is kind of akin to the muse, right? And this is often experienced by practitioners as kind of a disembodied voice that will kind of whisper to you as you sit over your desk and you write, you know, and this is kind of like automatic writing, kind of like channeling. But there, you know, there's a voice that comes through and kind of whispers to you the secrets that you have to document or whatever, the answers to the mysteries. And so I often think of the magician in this more clerical, secretarial, you know, imposture role, and it is not always so glamorous as the ceremonial magic and rituals and ornate things, and although it can be, right? Those are the fun nights out, but these, you know, most of it really is taking that kind of hermit stance, going into those in-between places, you know, using your eyes to see, really becoming the witness, okay, gathering information for yourself, and so that we may learn to produce our own keys. And that is really what it comes down to, right? You can be the student and the, what's the word? What is it? The neophyte. Are you done? Are you gonna shake all over me, you silly? But you know, I think as you get deeper and deeper into it, you find out that it is a lot of reading. It is a lot of these moments where, you know, we're documenting and we're researching and, you know, cross-referencing. It's just a lot. It's a lot. You know, that's why most magicians or magical practitioners, including myself, including my husband and other practitioners I know, we have huge libraries. You know, although we don't have a huge library, we have a substantial amount of books, I would say. But, you know, it's because you're reading a lot, and so I feel like this really is a time where there is this opening to manifestation. There is this moving through those in-betweens, having dreams, having visions, creating magic in your life, making things happen, not just in thought. Often I say the big thing about being a magician is working on changing your perception, how you experience reality, how you experience the idea of what magic is. But there are times where it really is so powerful, it is confronting in our physical life. So this is a good time to really examine, where would you ideally put this energy? What is it that you are looking for? As you strip away all of the, the kind of superficial wants, we look for what we need that upholds our true will. And our true will really is our purpose for being incarnate right now in this lifetime. And so that is quite an undertaking to really begin to, what am I here for? What drives me? If I kind of push away all the things I've been taught, conditioned, culturally, through my family, what I've seen on TV and movies, on the internet, the things that I feel like I should want, the things that feel like they should be fulfilling. But there's that little itch, that tells you this is not it. This is not really it. So what is it? And it's different for all of us. It looks different. It feels different. It smells different. It tastes different, right? And it, the funny thing about it is ever shifting as well. It changes depending on where we're at in our journey. So let's take a look. We have a little house, and I'm scared to move this because I know the water's going to take it away. But we have this right here. It looks like a little house. And above it, we have an H. Okay, so it did shift. So I feel like there's a real... Ooh. Okay, so I'm seeing a symbol for protection. And there's a sense of wanting to go home. I almost feel like you worry that you've moved too fast. You've spoken too quickly, or you've showed your cards, when you wanted to keep it closer to the chest. What does that mean? That's a saying. It just means kind of hiding what you're thinking or feeling. We fall in love with somebody and we don't know if they love us. And so, we keep it to ourselves. That's an example. I'm not saying that's what this is, but I feel like you said something and it has made you feel like you kind of, jumped the gun there. And there's a sense of just, like when you're out playing with the kids in the neighborhood. And I mean, when you were a kid, of course, when you also were a child. And, they're your friends, they're your peers. You probably play with them often. You know them well enough. But something happens where they maybe tease you too much, or one of the kids takes something that one of your toys or your ball or whatever, and you feel powerless and you want to run home. You want to run home and you want your mom or, somebody to make it better, to, hold you and tell you it's okay, and just feel like you're in your own space. There really is this kind of big feeling of that. And so I look at this and I think it may be, the answers won't come immediately, but I think you don't have a lot to worry about. I think things will go your way more than you think. just try to be patient with yourself and you know, just, and know that you're loved, you're cared for. You know, the universe is here. It's watching out for you. When you speak from your heart, it maybe sometimes makes you feel vulnerable and like you know, you've ruined something or whatever. Well, I challenge you to reframe that and really think about how much bravery it takes to be a person in this world. The way the world is right now, the way that we treat each other, the way that, you know, we play mental gymnastics about everything. It's all about perception and you know, making everything kind of a commodity and we can't be too careful about what we say, or, you know, and of course we must respect people's boundaries and for example, if somebody had you know, said, no, I don't feel that way about you, then we let it go. We don't continue to pursue somebody, of course. But, you know, when there's that unknown factor, saying your truth, speaking from your heart, what a brave act. You know, that's a brave thing. And you should never feel bad about speaking, you know, how you feel. Okay, let's see. We have the Happier Me affirmation cards. We're going to go ahead and flip through them. Ooh, and it says, I embrace the rhythm of life and let it unfold. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, take 3 deep breaths and calmly repeat this affirmation. Try also looking into the mirror. Okay, so let's see one more time. I embrace the rhythm of life and let it unfold. And so it is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for spending this time with me, Taurus. It is always such an honor to be able to do these readings for you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really, really does help the channel so much. And if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. The saddest thing about taking a day off is I don't really have that many comments to read. I love hearing from, I really do. You all are so sweet, so nice, and I really have just like the greatest love for each and every one of you. So with that, I'll say good night. I love you. Take care of yourself, and we will talk in just a few days.